Greetings, members of St. John's. This is Pastor Torkelson, taking my second foray into video greetings with you this week. I am just back from doxology. I've been asked a number of times, what is this doxology thing you're always talking about, Pastor Torkelson? It's kind of hard to describe. Is it a program? Is it some sort of retreat? And the answer is, I suppose, yes, it's all of those things. It basically is a program dedicated to providing pastoral care for pastors. We pastors provide pastoral care for all of you on a regular basis, but we often find our resources depleted precisely because we are not always cared for ourselves by brother pastors in the same manner that we are called to care for you. So what doxology sets out to do is it sets out to provide us with a paradigm by which we can receive pastoral care, and also to improve our pastoral care skills for all of you. I know one of the areas where I've benefited the most in going to doxology is counseling. I think the modules we did on counseling really benefited my own counseling with people individually very, very well. But there are so many other ways in which we benefited as well. And I really do think that you're going to see probably in the months ahead several of the blessings of doxology come out, hopefully. Not just in my own ministry and the way I carry myself as a pastor, but I hope at the congregational level. I think that would be really marvelous. And so I'm glad to be back, but I was glad to go. And it was another wonderful weekend, and hopefully I can continue to be involved, even though I have now completed the actual course of doxology. I'm still invited to attend future grand reunions like the one we just attended, Jennifer and I did, and I look forward to that, and hopefully bringing more blessings to the congregation through that. By now, having done one video and coming into the second video, I thought you might want to know that I actually do have a little bit of a concern as to why I present and I'm making these videos. And that concern is that we might use these as tools to help you, as members of St. John's, get ready and prepare for worship the coming Sunday. This coming Sunday will be the 9th Sunday after Pentecost. It will be August 14th with our Thursday evening service on the 11th, obviously. And it's very important. We are receiving the Lord's Supper this Sunday. Very important to prepare, as Paul reminds us in 1 Corinthians 11, 27 through 29. Where it reads, "Whoever therefore eats the bread or drinks the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner will be guilty concerning the body and blood of the Lord. Let a person examine himself then, and so eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For anyone who eats and drinks without discerning the body eats and drinks judgment on himself." How many times have we gone to the Lord's Supper relatively thoughtlessly, not really thinking through why we're going there, what we need, what our needs are, the need for the forgiveness of sins, the full weight of our sins, and really the hunger and thirst that we ought to have for Christ's body and blood and the forgiveness of sins that's offered there. I think I, like all of you, have probably been guilty many times of not putting a proper amount of thought and self-reflection into my reception of the Lord's Supper. It's no secret in the congregation that we are looking down the road here, not too far down the road either, I don't think, to restoring every Sunday communion, as has been the historic practice and the practice that's indicated in our Lutheran confessions and going all the way back to Paul. And I must say that we can do that well enough. It probably won't be that difficult to do, but one of the things we really want to do is encourage Christians to also reconnect with what the Bible teaches about proper preparation for the sacrament, so that we might be ready, that we might receive God's gifts joyfully, and that we might leave the Lord's Supper truly having apprehended the fact that Christ has forgiven us of our sins. So what I want to do with these videos is I want to use the text that I'm going to be preaching on for the coming Sunday to kind of prepare you, get you thinking about certain questions before you get to church, in the hopes that we might put answers to those questions and deepen your understanding of the text that's before us. The beauty of this particular week is that we have a marvelous text in front of us from Matthew chapter 15. The story of Jesus and his encounter with the Canaanite woman. And hopefully, if I do the formatting of this video right, you'll see the text on the screen there. She approaches Jesus 3 times, asking for his mercy in helping her with her daughter who is severely oppressed by a demon. Because she's a Canaanite, she's not well received by Jews at Jesus' time, and Jesus tests her a little bit. He does not insult her, as some have suggested, but he does test her to see where her faith is at, and she is willing to take even the crumbs that fall from the master's table like dogs. Jesus does. He's the first one to use the word dogs there in verse 26. And she recognizes she deserves nothing from him, but she knows that he is good and gracious and merciful, and she holds him to that, and that's a powerful, powerful text in that regard. So as you think about that text, I hope you had a chance to look at it and keep it in your mind. We'll be preaching on it this Sunday. I want you to think about these questions as you think about that text and about the Lord's Supper that you'll be receiving this weekend. Number 1, do I have a need for mercy like the woman as she approached Jesus 3 times, looking for mercy for her daughter? Am I persistent in my prayers to the Lord for mercy? Look how often she comes to him. And she's not a true child of God, or she's not a true Israelite. She's a Canaanite, a Canaanite dog, one who the Israelites wanted nothing to do with. And yet she is very persistent in her approach of Jesus. Are we so persistent? What does it say about us when we're not? Do we trust that God's a merciful God if we won't bring our cares and concerns to him? Do I see myself as worthy of good things from God or unworthy of good things from him? And I would argue that you might want to contemplate unworthiness here, because if we are worthy, I'm going to argue we don't take God's gifts and blessings as seriously as when we receive them totally unmerited by the grace of God. Do I appreciate that? Do I appreciate that Jesus shows mercy to this unworthy Canaanite dog, and that he shows mercy to me, chief of sinners though I be? I hope those questions help you. That's the whole point of this exercise. I hope they help you as you look ahead to this coming Sunday, Thursday or Sunday, and we'll see you in the divine service. The Lord's blessings to you for the rest of this week.